Hi everybody, it's only Becky. I'm here in front of my husband's bee collection to talk a little bit about honeybees. For those of you who don't know, my husband is a beekeeper and he gets a lot of questions, and one of them is, why are honeybees so important? I mean, there are other pollinators. Why is it so important to protect the honeybees specifically? Well, first of all pollinators are important, all of them. But the honeybees are especially important because they're where we get our food from. Allow me to explain. How do we get an apple? We get an apple from the flower of an apple tree, right? Makes sense. That flower needs to be pollinated by a pollinator. The reason honeybees are different from other pollinators is, let's say, a hummingbird. A hummingbird will go from flower to flower to flower to flower. Doesn't matter what flower it is, as long as there's nectar inside. That's all they care about. So they will go from an apple flower to maybe a tulip to a dandelion flower to a rose. It doesn't matter to them. Honeybees, however, tend to go from flower to flower to flower on one type of flower. They will go from apple blossom to apple blossom to apple blossom to apple blossom to apple blossom, and that is how we get apples. Now, that's not to say that other pollinators don't do that too. I mean, if all that there is around is apple blossoms, that's what they're going to get from. But they also tend to go off and do other flowers too. That's why it's so important that we protect the honeybees specifically, is because they're where we get our food from. Farmers who produce food from flowering plants like apples and oranges and other fruits and vegetables, like tomatoes, because tomatoes are a vegetable. I'll have a video coming up on that. They will either have their own beehives on the premises, or they will contract out with a beekeeper to have them put the hives on their premises so they don't have to worry about taking care of the bees. The beekeeper will do it. But they understand how important honeybees are to the production of all food. So usually there will be beehives on the premises in apple orchards or in orange groves or those kind of things. We actually have an observation hive in our building here. You can see the bees hard at work. I know this is a really short video, but I thought it was so important to explain the biggest reason why it's so very important that we protect honeybees. Please do not kill them. If you find a swarm somewhere, please call a local beekeeper. Please don't spray the swarm. A local beekeeper will usually come and catch the swarm for free if it's not an established colony inside of your house. Even if you find an established colony inside of your house, please don't call an exterminator. Most of them won't exterminate the bees. You'll have to call a beekeeper anyway. Question of the day: do you like honey? I know a lot of people don't, and that's okay. It's not for everybody. But I will have to say that it is the only natural food that you can get that does not expire. And if you have honey that has crystallized, that doesn't mean it's bad. It just means that the sugars inside of the honey have crystallized, and all you have to do is heat it up. So just put the jar inside of a bowl of super hot water and it'll melt right back down into regular honey, and you can eat it forever. It never ever expires. So don't throw away any honey you might have sitting in your pantry that's 5 years old, because it's still good as long as it's fresh, natural honey. So that's the question of the day, but I wanted to tell you something else about honey real quick now that I think of it. Let's say you found a local beekeeper and you're ready to buy some honey. Can you hear my dog? Let's say you found a local beekeeper and you're ready to buy some honey, but you're not sure if it's good honey or not. Well, let me tell you, it all depends on the moisture content. This is a jar of honey. See how clear it is? That my husband had produced for me. And watch the air bubble. If it takes its time going up to the top, you know it's good moisture content. If it goes up really fast, then there's too much moisture in it and it will get rancid. If you're ready to buy some honey, just take a jar and flip it over. If it goes really slowly like that, it's good honey. If it goes up really fast, pass it on by. Question: do you like honey? Leave your answer in the comments below, and I'll see you next time. Bye.